Hello everyone, I'm Mangesh, your host. I welcome you all, and today I'll walk you through the poverty scenario in India. So, without taking a further ado, we shall begin now. Today I'll throw some light over topics such as what is poverty, what are the types of poverty, world poverty scenario, poverty in India as a rural poverty and urban poverty, role of NGOs and how they emerge as service provider. And lastly, we will sum up with the conclusion. So, what is poverty? Poverty refers to a situation when people are deprived of basic necessities of life. It is often characterized by inadequacy of food, shelter, and clothes. In other words, poverty refers to a state of deprivation where there is a lack of essential needs for subsistence. India is one of the poorest countries in the world. We have around 22% people below poverty line. Many people in India do not get two meals a day. They do not have good houses to live in. Their children do not get proper schooling. Poor people are depressed and deprived class. They do not get proper nutritional diet. Their condition have not sufficiently improved even long after over 73 years of our independence. What are types of poverty? Actually, there are many, but the main branches are two, relative poverty and absolute, and rest come under this. So I'll explain what is relative poverty means. Relative poverty is defined from a social perspective, that is living of standard compared to economic standard of population living in your surrounding, and hence it is a measure of economic inequality. Let me give you an example. A family is considered to be poor if it cannot buy a car or a motorbike, perhaps if it cannot send its young for higher education. So, this is how relative poverty can be defined. Usually, relative poverty is measured as a percentage of population with income less than some fixed proportion of median income. So, I'll move forward to absolute poverty. Absolute poverty is known as extreme poverty. It involves the scarcity of basic food, clean water, health, shelter, education, and information. Those who belong to absolute poverty tend to struggle to live and experience a lot of child death from preventable diseases like malaria, cholera, and some sort of other diseases too. Poverty line measures the absolute poverty by standard of world's poorest countries. So, I'll move forward with the world poverty scenario. As poverty is a global issue, the world has made huge strides in overcoming global poverty. So here's the fact. Around 689 million people, means 69 crore people, live in extreme poverty and surviving with less than $1.9 a day, which accounts to be around rupees 140 in India. Also, around half of the world, nearly 4 billion people, live with household income below $2.5 a day, which is nearly 185 rupees in India. And with the apparent and sudden impact of COVID 19, this number will increase substantially by adding few crore more people at the end of 2020 in the world poverty list. Now, I'll throw some light on poverty scenario in India. So, as per the data suggested by Indian government in 2013 after the census, they stated that around 21.9% people are below poverty line in India and large portion of poor people live in rural areas. Poverty is deepest among the members of scheduled caste and tribes in the country's rural area. On the map of India, the poorest areas are like Bihar, Jharkhand, Odisha, Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, and West Bengal. As India is a developing country, so the poverty in India can be distinguished as rural and urban poverty. I'll try to explain the causes behind rural poverty in India. In rural areas, there is a rapid population growth which causes tension in the management of essentials. People in rural area basically depend upon farming and agriculture, but due to lack of capital, they are unable to perform agricultural activity and earn money, and hence this pushes them below poverty line. Around more than 50% of children from the rural area leave schools before 5th grade. A large percentage of dropouts are females. Either they are forced to work or they help in household works. So illiteracy is the outcome. Also, they have a large family size, which in turn affects the management of essentials in house. Now, I'll move toward the urban poverty. Urban poor are living in extremely deprived conditions. They have unhygienic water supply, they do not get proper sanitation facilities, they have bad sewage and drainage systems, they have less social services such as healthcare, nutrition, preschooling, and etc. So, now look at the causes behind it. In urban areas like cities and towns, people lack of alternate employment opportunities. The migration of rural youth towards cities causes tension in management of essentials. Lack of housing facilities increases the unhygienic environment. And being poor, they feel themselves to be exploited once and hence loses confidence and feel powerless and voiceless too. Now, we will look at the role of NGOs. In general, NGOs emerge and plays a role as a service provider, being at a supply side. Also, from the demand side, the role of NGOs can be seen as being articulator of people's voice, like they take demand from the people and project it by campaigning or by volunteering. Now, we are heading towards conclusion. In conclusion, poverty is not the problem of an individual or a person, but of the whole nation, the whole world. Also, it should be dealt with an immediate basis by implementation of effective measures. In addition, eradication of poverty has become necessary for sustainable and inclusive growth of people, society, country, and the economy. I would like to suggest some ways to end poverty in India. Likewise, developing a national poverty reduction plan, providing equal access to healthcare and education, providing sanitation facilities, providing food, water, shelter, and clothing facilities, enhancing economic growth with a targeted action, and last but not the least, being an individual, togetherness is a way which can help us in our every problem. So try helping at least an individual. So I would like to end this by saying that be human, live human, die human, not animal. Thank you.